Well, hello everybody. Thanks for dropping in. Our first little round table. Essentially, this is how it's going to work. Hey DJ, thanks for joining me. Apparently DJ is shy tonight.
My pleasure. Hopefully we can we've got a lot to go through and answer any questions.
We can do, yep, guys. If you've got any questions while we're going along, you can either, well, for those of you who aren't listening to the recording, we've got a little raise your hand button at the bottom of the Discord. You can press, and then whenever we get a second, we'll invite you up to talk. If you don't want to talk or you can't talk, you haven't got a mic, whatever, pop your question in the general, and we'll get around to it when we can. Cool. Should we just get started? Should we dive right in?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah? Awesome. So, normally, guys, what we'll do, this kind of roundtable thing, we're going to have one every week about this time on a Tuesday night. We're going to go through everything that's happened in the last week, a couple of things that are coming up we can tell you about, probably a couple of things we shouldn't tell you about, but we'll not tell DJ, don't worry. And then we'll cover any changes and that kind of stuff to the games we've got and any news and that kind of stuff as well. So, first off, because it's the first one ever, I'm going to go back a little bit further. Congratulations to Warfare, Abyss, Marco and Krusty on killing the Apex Dummy Rex. Well done, guys. I watched the stream on that one. It was absolutely brilliant. Nice tactics, nice dinos. Well done. Excellent. With regards to a couple of the mods we've got Fjorda's had a couple of big updates recently. I believe Sandy put an announcement out about that one. Just be careful at the minute in the Redwoods, guys, because they're still a little bit twitchy and he's working on getting them sorted as soon as possible, but for now I'd recommend not building in the Redwoods on Fjorda. Just be safe. Next thing we've got here are supporters. You guys are freaking phenomenal. We love you to bits. And you guys literally keep this thing going. We wouldn't be able to do this if you guys didn't help us out a little bit each month, so thank you so much to you guys. For those of you who don't know, we've got a store on the website, WickedNinjaGames.com/store. You can go on there, support us a little bit with a couple of quid a month. Helps us to run the servers and actually make stuff, content, mods, things for you guys. And we reward you with little perks and rewards in game as well. So thank you so much for those of you who are doing that at the moment. We've had some massive updates to Minecraft recently. Or upgrades. Nani spent about 2 months trying to get things working, and finally I believe they're sorted now, so that's all good to go. We're also bringing up, as you've probably seen if you're playing Minecraft, we're bringing up a new server in the foreseeable, running a different mod pack as well, so we'll tell you more about that as and when that's ready to go, essentially. 7 Days Season 2 has started for those of you who are playing 7 Days. We've got physical rewards for this season as well. So we've got first and second place winning SSDs. And third place is also winning some of our merch. We've got the WNG hoodie is up for grabs for third place there as well. And as always, admins can't win that. Lovely. Sandy's finished our brand new Hall of Heroes as well. Well done, Sandy. You're amazing. Lots of stuff on there. We've also got our supporters for Ark on the wall there as well. Just again a little thank you for them for doing their part for us. And a little diorama that Sandy's made, which to be honest I absolutely love, depicting the defeat of the Apex Domination Rex there as well.
And it's definitely something that's worth seeing. The future plans for what we're dubbing the Hall of Heroes is to set a challenge in a week or in a month, and the tribe that completes that challenge or the team that completes that challenge gets recognised in the Hall of Heroes by having their avatars put up, the names put up, and the monster put up. So you'll be immortalised in time on the server.
That you will. I think the first big one of those DJs is probably going to be Genesis 2, I think. We'll have a couple of little ones in the meantime, but the first team to beat Genesis 2 will definitely be going up on there as well. Another update from Fjorda we've got here, guys. Again, the reworked Redwood's gone in, but it is still a bit twitchy. Nikatus, the guy who makes that, is working pretty much flat out at the minute. And he's done an absolute load of bug fixing and texture and model updates as well, which is always brilliant. So yeah, keep an eye on that, guys. If you haven't played on it, it is a really gorgeous map. It's still in development, so there are a couple of glitches, but there we go. Quick update to Lethal's reusables. Very little that actually affects us. Grapples and climbing picks by default now respect area restrictions. I believe, did you turn that off?
No, we've actually left that at default for the time being. So
Excellent.
unfortunately, there is no going into a boss arena, grappling onto the ceiling now, and just shooting the boss.
Phenomenal. Brilliant news. There we are. And we've also got the first set of rankings for Season 2 of 7 Days for those of you who haven't played it yet, essentially. The first set of rankings there are out as well. Warfare, I've got no idea if anyone actually did that or not, but somebody probably tried to cheese it at one point. Probably John. I imagine John probably tried to do that at some point. Announcement as well, guys. I know some of you do it successfully, and that's absolutely fine, but warning for the new guys. High-protein meat isn't like normal meat. You can raise babies with it, but depending on the baby, they can lose food faster than they can eat high-protein meat. So if you do have problems with that, or you're not sure, would recommend using basically any other kind of meat to raise dinos. I know, for example, Warfare, you do it absolutely fine, but if you're not sure or you're having problems, switch over to normal meat, and that should solve any problems you're having there. However,
Yes, exactly.
on to
However,
today's main story.
that issue may go away.
It may do. We're making some major changes to the art cluster, guys. Let's just dive right in, basically.
I alluded to a couple of the changes throughout the week and posted a sneaky screenshot for one of the changes in general just a few minutes ago. Actually.
Just to see what people would do, yeah. So for those of you who haven't heard, we're making, a couple of small changes and a couple of absolutely enormous changes to the art cluster. I'm wondering why I couldn't find the post. It was because I hadn't posted it.
You want me to, before you get into the changes, do you want me to go through the reasoning behind it, or should we leave that till the end of the changes?
I was going to just go through them simultaneously, so go through what we're doing and why. So essentially, guys, what we've done is we've looked at... Yes, Nanny, we are wiping the server and going back to vanilla rates, yeah. That's exactly... No, it's not what we're doing. We've looked at your feedback. Obviously, you guys have been giving us some great feedback on what's good and what's not good about the server. And we've taken that on board. We've also looked at our competition, other servers, really successful servers, to see what they're doing. And we're basically buffing the entire server, which is brilliant. So, first things first, we are doubling the harvesting rates for materials that you actively go out and mine or gather yourself. That's going up from 2.5 times to 5 times for manual and dino harvesting. So things that you generate, like, say, Acatina paste, will be staying at the normal rate, just because they happen passively over time, and there's nothing you can really do to impact that. But if you're actually putting effort into it and you're actually playing the game, you're going to reap the rewards from that as well. We are doubling player XP to make it a bit easier for you guys to start, continue, and then eventually, once we hit level 140, continue to get XP at a decent rate. And we're also increasing weight per level on players from 300 to 400 as well, because you're carrying more, you're going to need more
Dinos too.
weight. And dinos, sorry, yeah. But they're not going to 400. The per map tribe structure limits are being halved. We've realised you guys aren't using anywhere near your limits, apart from a couple of people who've agreed they've gone a bit too big and started lagging the server out, which is great. So that's been halved to 10,500. Now, the individual pumps and things like that aren't changing, I believe, DJ.
No,
it's just that the total structures are being halved for you.
So we came across a few situations where we had some very hardcore builders building extremely large bases up to the 20,000 limit that we had, or 21,000 limit. And when they decided they no longer wanted those bases, actually destroying those bases was crashing the client, and in some cases timing out the server, and also causing problems for some players when moving around the maps. So we've halved the limit, which is still going to be 10,500 structures, and that's in line with what you can actually see in Arc when you're flying around. So I don't know if you're all aware, but the server will only render in 10,500 structures at a time. And also looking at the size of everybody's bases, there shouldn't be any issues there. Changing the limit won't affect your existing bases. It'll just stop you building if you've already gone over that limit.
Brilliant, thanks very much for that, DJ. Next on the list, we are returning tech dinos to all maps. We've manually removed them from every map but Extinction and Genesis, and then are returning to every single map. Just generally because that's standard. People want to see it apparently, so we're good to go from there. Nani's not very happy about it, but screw Nani. Dino weight per level is being doubled from what it currently is, which is fantastic. A couple of you are going to be very happy about this. Mating interval is being reduced from 5 to 11 hours down to 35 to 90 minutes. Those of you who are breathing will be very... breathing? Yes. Those of you who are breeding will be very happy to hear that. Meaning you can pop a dino roughly on average once an hour per female. And the hatchery to go along with this, the capacity has been increased from 50 to 200 eggs. And we've also halved baby food consumption as well, which should solve some of the problems we're having with the high protein meat. But again, if you're not sure or you're having problems, just switch to normal meat, it should solve it straight away for you. Taming wise, we're not changing a great deal with taming, however, to allow crystal within taming with regular crystal rather than prime crystal, we are halving wild dino food drain, apologies, and then balancing that by doubling if I can talk today, doubling dino taming speed. So essentially dinos will take the same amount of time to tame, but they'll just take half the resources, which is never a bad thing for you guys. Soul terminals. We are enabling passive item generation for them, so anything that would normally make items, drop them on the floor, have them in their inventory, will be able to do so in the soul terminal, instead of being out in your base and causing FPS problems if you have them, etc., and being vulnerable essentially. That's going to be fueled by Federation shards. We're going to I believe we worked it out at 50 shards an hour, was it?
The cycle's every 15 minutes and it uses 1 shard every 15 minutes.
1 shard every 15 minutes, lovely, thank you for that. Yeah. So there we are, so 1 shard every 15 minutes, so 4 shards an hour. Tickety-boo, lovely. We've also enabled conversion, as DJ's shown you from the little photo in general there as well, so if you place dung beetles and poop into the soul terminal, it will still convert poop to fertilizer in there. You'll just need to either move it across manually or use the item translocator, I believe, to automate the process of getting that into your crop plots.
Well, actually...
Ooh.
Not the case.
There's an actually. Things have changed.
You have an option for distribution allotments now, so you can set the number of pellets the soul terminal will distribute to each gacha, and you can set the number of fertilizers it will distribute to each crop.
Oh, phenomenal. I must have missed that upgrade. That's absolutely brilliant.
I haven't tested that with the S Plus crop plots, but I feel because they're just children of the normal crop plots, they should just work.
Excellent. If they don't, do let us know, guys, and we'll have a look and see if there's anything we can do. Or just tell you there's nothing we can if we can't. Another big change we're making, guys, is to Vivariums. Those of you who are lower level probably haven't come across them yet, but those of you who are higher level, we've made some changes. Vivariums will now only produce eggs and poop. They'll do that every 15 minutes, no matter how many dinos are inside as well. So at the moment, if you put 100 dinos in, it greatly increases the cycle time for that. No matter how many dinos you put in, this will stay at 15 minutes and produce you eggs, unfertilized eggs, poop, and owl pellets all day long, every 15 minutes. Excellent.
And that's the same cycle time as the soul terminals as well, so they're both on 15-minute cycles for producing their resources.
Which is absolutely brilliant. Cool. Have a quick look in general here, see if we've got any questions that haven't been answered already.
While you're having a look through that as well,
By the way,
the Vivarium will also get a 5% bonus to egg and poop production. So, double check. The Vivarium will have a 5% bonus to egg production. So it will actually be more efficient to put your eggs in a Vivarium rather than a soul terminal production. Put your dinos in a Vivarium for soul. Put your dinos in a Vivarium instead of a soul terminal for production.
Yeah, that's entirely right. And they've got 100 slots as well, so you've got a maximum of 3 Vivariums per tribe, so you've got 300 slots for egg-producing dinos for all of your kibble needs, which is absolutely brilliant. Looks like Nolly's been answering questions as we've been going through, but I'll go over a couple so everybody can hear them on the recording. Changes go live downtime tomorrow, so 12th of May, 9 AM. The servers go down and they'll be in once it goes back up. Tam can smell all the Acatina paste. Yes, I think we all can. That's absolutely fine. Krusty, if you crash our server with Deinonychus, I will have to reach through the internet and slap you. Tam, yes, you will have to pop the poops into the terminal, and then if everything works the way it should do, it should just automatically distribute out to your crop plots. Yep, that's brilliant. Have we got anybody else here while I'm on?
So say on the production rates and the 15-minute cycle thing. The 15-minute cycle is just how frequently the Sol terminal or the Vivarium checks for resources that have been produced. The rates at which the resources are produced are the same as the real-world rates.
Yes,
except for the 5% bonus you get for egg production in Vivariums.
Yeah, you're not going to get one every 15 minutes, so don't complain to us when it doesn't happen. That's great. We have one more question from Tam.
We've got to mention is stack sizes have been significantly increased on all the major resources.
Yes, so we've got... I've completely skipped by them here when I was talking about resources. So yeah, wood, metal, stone and all meat stack sizes have been doubled. The usual ones. One thing that's not on there that I'm going to mention now because it's a different announcement is we're also adding in Cal's auto-harvesting as well. Where essentially you can turn off the weight restriction of dinos being carried when they automatically mine or gather materials, so an Anki can over-encumber itself when held by an RG, as long as the RG doesn't over-encumber itself carrying that Anki, which is quite nifty, so I'll put an announcement about that later on as well. Great, I think we're just waiting on Tam's last question, and then we might be done. That was surprisingly quick. Yes, Tam, that's right, 10 dodos will make... 100 dodos in a vivarium will make the same number of eggs as 105 dodos not in a vivarium. Cool, have we got any more questions for anybody while we're on, or are we good? Is that everything?
For those of you that are interested in the fine technical detail, I might post some of that in the document later.
That's not a bad idea, actually, just in case, yeah.
Yeah, I think that just about covers it. Any questions? We've already answered, I think.
Yeah, guys listening on the recording, if you've got any questions, pop them in the dojo, or if you can't, pop them in general, and we'll go from there. Spot on. Well, guys, it's lovely to see so many of you coming out and listening to us waffle on. Have a good night. We'll see you in a bit, and if you've got any more questions you need to ask us as and when, just throw them in the dojo or throw them in general, and we'll get to you as fast as we can. Great. Have a good one.